So you know the Trump administration and Kash Patel are lying about Charlie Kirk's assassination. They're covering up who actually did it, but they're going to use Charlie Kirk's assassination to crack down on free speech. So keeping with our theme today of Donald Trump attacking the First Amendment with Pam Bondi getting Facebook groups taken down, and that's from Reason Magazine, which is a libertarian magazine. That's not from a lefty. That's not Mother Jones. That's not MSNBC. That's from Reason Magazine coming out against Donald Trump, violating the First Amendment, doing the exact same thing that the Joe Biden administration did, pressuring social media to take down posts and to take down actual groups. Well, here, Tucker Carlson, hell has frozen over. Tucker Carlson is calling out the fascist authoritarian Trump regime for insidiously using the assassination of Kirk as an excuse to abolish the First Amendment, round up Americans, and carry out the Nazification of America. That's what Bill Madden says. Here we go.
You hope that. You hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors to create a society that was the opposite of the one he worked to build. You hope that. You hope that a year from now, the turmoil we're seeing in the aftermath of his murder won't be leveraged to bring hate speech laws to this country. And trust me, if it is, if that does happen, there is never a more justified moment for civil disobedience than that, ever. And there never will be. Because if they can tell you what to say, they're telling you what to think. There is nothing they can't do to you because they don't consider you human. They don't believe you have a soul. A human being with a soul, a free man, has a right to say what he believes, not to hurt other people, but to express his views.
So that's Tucker Carlson laying down the law. That's how you know it's not a cult, the people who supported Donald Trump, because the people are calling him out left and right. Joe Rogan's calling him out. Theo Vaughn's calling him out. Andrew Schultz is calling him out. Tucker Carlson is warning him, better not do this. Better not try to give hate speech laws and use Charlie Kirk as an excuse. But I like that. So this guy says hell hath frozen over because Tucker Carlson's calling out Trump. Really? Hell has frozen over just because you just now noticed that Tucker Carlson wasn't what you thought he was? A sycophant cult member? Now, you're just noticing that now? So now hell hath frozen over?
Hey, welcome to the party.
Yeah. I say we'll know who killed Charlie Kirk by what shitty laws are passed after his death. That's my theory. Looking forward to the Don't Ever Speak Ill of Israel bill, by the way. I always thought they should come up with a different term than bad actors. Right? I mean, because whenever someone says, oh, bad actors, it always sounds like he's talking about Jaden Smith. oh, now his dad's going to slap me at an award ceremony. Great. Thank you. So here is Andrew Colvett. He says, Secretary Bessent. By the way, do you know who this guy is? Do you know where he comes from? This is Donald Trump's Secretary of Treasury.
Okay.
Do you know who his job before that was? He was the right-hand man for George Soros.
Oh.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. So people forget that. I forgot that until I watched Due Dissonance the other day. They reminded me of that. He was George Soros' right-hand man. Now he works for Donald Trump. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? It's like they're all in on it.
Well, I kind of deduced that when Trump didn't want the Epstein shit coming out. That's when I realized, they're all in on it.
So here is Secretary Bessent just revealed just how determined he is to dismantle the far-left groups funding domestic extremism. Here, let's listen.
I want to play a clip here that's really important because you're working on a very important piece of this, and I wish we had more time for this. So let's just get right into it. 136.
Let me tell you something I'd not share with anybody, but the last message that Charlie Kirk gave to me before he joined his creator in heaven was he said that we have to dismantle and take on the radical left organizations in this country that are fomenting violence. That was the last message that he sent me before that assassin stole him from all of us.
So that is a powerful clip. Stephen Miller said something similar when JD hosted the show on the Monday after he was assassinated. And Treasury, I come to find out, coming to D.C., that Treasury has taken an active role in an aspect of this dismantling of the financial networks that are supporting some of these radical left violent groups. Share with what you can. I know it's an ongoing process.
So it's an ongoing process, and I will tell you that after 9/11, Treasury became the driving force behind tracking down the networks of terrorist organizations, how they were financed, how could this have happened on U.S. soil.
Is he talking about Zionists?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that's who does that?
With these international terrorist organizations, where did the money come from? Who were the ultimate funders? And that was on the international side. And Andrew, I will tell you that Charlie's death is like a domestic 9/11, that we are going to find. It has alerted us domestic. To what Charlie knew, that these organizations are working within our borders. And look, we believe people have a right to free speech. They have a right to
but not to the speech we don't like. Just like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. But not to the speech. We don't like this. I'm all for free speech that I like.
They have a right to protest, but they have to do it peacefully. They cannot embrace violence, and we have seen it. We've seen it since the terrible day 2 years ago, the anti-Semitism and the bias that came out after October 7th, 2023. And many of these organizations have been financed by nonprofits, and it's going to stop. And we are going to, as they always say, follow the money. When you see these groups where all the signs match, they have hundreds of the same umbrellas that they're using. After they cause the mayhem, they have the same lasers that they're using to blind our police force. How are they constructed? Because this takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of organization, and we are going to do that. We have started to compile lists, put together networks, and there's a long record here. And we don't know how much of the support's coming in from overseas. We don't know how much being supported by U.S. nonprofits, C3s that give money to C4s. But this is mission critical for us now, just as after 9/11 and Osama bin Laden, the ultimate culprit, was captured. We are operationalizing this here at Treasury, and we are going to track down who is responsible for this. So Charlie's death has set this off, and we are determined. We're determined not only to honor him, but to keep our country safe and to ensure freedom of speech on both sides.
Yeah.
That we can't, as conservatives, we can't be afraid to go out and speak. I know people are canceling speeches. They're having to bring down the size of the rallies. President Trump was millimeters away from death, and he was not deterred, and we're not going to be deterred.
God bless you for that. I wish I had.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
God bless you. You're doing exactly the opposite of what people thought you were. When officials start using phrases like domestic 9/11 to justify new crackdowns, it's never about justice. It's about control. Kirk's death was covered up. The same people who are now exploiting it for political theater are the ones who buried the truth in the first place. So the Trump administration and Kash Patel are lying about Charlie Kirk's assassination. They're covering up who actually did it, but they're going to use Charlie Kirk's assassination to crack down on free speech. All the way down to the Department of Treasury. A guy who comes right out of George Soros' organization.
I can't get past the domestic 9/11 line.
He said
that is such a crazy thing.
He said this
to
is
say.
our domestic 9/11.
Where are you
9/11
from,
was
buddy?
domestic.
What a slip to say that. That's so bizarre.
So they're not investigating extremism. They're manufacturing it to weaponize grief and silence opposition. I'm going to have to quote this in my act. This is well said by the source.
Oh, just like 9/11, just like the original 9/11, which was in fact domestic.
Right.
The fake extremism that they manufacture. So it's just manufactured consent all the way down the line.
That's right. Well, all I know is, Kirk, is that Israel did nothing wrong. And
well, I want to have shirts made of
sure what they did do wrong is fine because of something with the Bible. So there you go. You voted for John McCain, you didn't know it. You voted for Joe Biden, you didn't know it. So just like the Joe Biden administration did a Fedsurrection on January 6th and then targeted those people and then over-prosecuted them to try to break up a political movement, now the Trump administration is doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. And all under the lip service of stopping hate speech.
Which is not a thing. That's free. You could be hateful in your goddamn
I can
speech.
hate stuff.
Yeah.
We all get
Check
to
off
hate
of
stuff. I
violence.
get to hate stuff. You get to hate stuff. Just like Tucker Carlson said, I'm a free man. I'm a free man. I'm not a slave. I get to say whatever I want. You can't control my thoughts. But they're trying, and that's all
Soon
this
they
is.
will.
Okay, so now we're going to jump to I'll see you, by the way, I'll see you in Irvine, California on Sunday. I'll see you in Australia. We have added second shows to all those. We'll see you in Burbank the day after Thanksgiving, Burbank, California. See you in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. And January 11th, we're going to be in Waikiki at the Blue Note. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. October 19th, we'll be in Irvine, California. Then we'll be in Australia. Then we'll be in Burbank, California the day after Thanksgiving. And then Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.